it just goes rogue and starts going after all sorts.
Hi there and welcome to From Ideas to Results. I'm joined by James from our paid team here at Sleeping Giant Media, and we are diving into all the topics that are happening in the world of paid, and we've got some 3 interesting topics. Firstly, we're looking at suggested plans in the performance planner. We're looking at AI Max, and we're going to also circle back around to YouTube data and what breakdowns we're getting in the demand gen campaign. So suggested plans, can you give us a bit of an intro of what that is, what it means?
So in the performance planner, you get a little card now, which is basically a predefined plan for you. So you can select that, it'll look at your historical performance of your campaigns and therefore suggest what you could be doing or moving some monies around to try and maximize your ROI. Don't use it as gospel, obviously use it to help drive where you might want to go. So you could utilize it, test it and make sure it did deliver against what it expected to. But yeah, it's just trying to make things easier for us. If you want to look at budget management, where you might want to put more investment, it would look at those campaigns that might expect to see greater return by moving that money from one to another.
What's your thought?
It's quite new as part of our monthly review on how we might want to consider budgets for the following month, and we have looked at that. As I say, I've used it as a guide but not an actual click and select and do.
Okay, moving on, looking at AI Max. So this is now available globally. Can you give us a kind of bit of a recap? What's AI Max?
So AI Max is looking at sort of bridging the gap between search and fully AI driven campaign types like Performance Max. But it looks at your keywords, it looks at expansion of those keywords, it dynamically creates your headlines and descriptions, it potentially looks at going beyond the URL that you're setting. So it looks at more opportunity based on the structure of your campaign that you've got set up at the moment.
And is this more specifically text-based or is this all different types of format?
So this is specifically for search campaigns, so heavily weighted towards text-based.
Yeah. And have we got any data on this in terms of how that's performing?
We've just rolled it out for quite a few of the clients now, so it's starting to build up momentum. We can report on the performance of AI Max. Performance Max arrived, there was very little that we could work with, whereas AI Max, you can actually filter in your search terms report, you can ask to look at the search terms and landing pages that have driven performance through AI Max, so you've got a lot more insight to work with. Try it, see how it works for you. I mean, these things are always constantly improving, but you could read and listen to people on how they're seeing this performance online, but actually test it yourself in your own account with your own brand.
Is it flicking the switch to firstly turn it on, and secondly, is it the whole account, or can you test bits? How does that work?
And it is campaign by campaign.
So you can switch on or
choose which you do and don't want to do. I would recommend you mainly focus on non-branded campaigns as opposed to your brand campaign. What I have seen in some isolated tests, if I turn it on for brand, it just goes rogue and starts going after all sorts. Keep a tight rein on it, continue to do your fundamentals such as negative keywords. You look at your search query reports, just make sure you're all over the discipline of how you might want to sculpt your traffic in your account.
And moving on to topic number 3, we were looking at YouTube data. Sounds like they're giving us more insights into the performance of that.
Yeah, the YouTube data is a win from Google for us advertisers. So we can now see in-stream, in-feed and shorts placements. So again, you can have a look at those segmentations, see how each of those segments are performing, because you now also have the ability within your campaign settings to turn off certain features, such as if you didn't want in-feed, you could unselect that, but make sure that you're capitalizing on in-stream. So yeah, use those insights and then either choose, depending on how it performs, you might want to leave it automated and let Google run the show. Alternatively, if you do want to take some control back, you can use those selectors.
Interesting. So why do you think they've gone that road?
I would suggest that maybe Google may have listened to the advertisers. There was a lot of feedback, a lot of frustration when Performance Max was launched, that there was too much data that was hidden, which they've consequently now started to make more available. So as these new features are rolling out, the data is there available from the outset.
Interesting. Well, I hope you found that useful. As ever, do check out our website and our socials for more information, and we'll see you again next time.